To make this homemade bench vise, I'm going to use a UPN steel channel that's 10 centimeters wide. The flanges are 5 centimeters and it's 80 centimeters long. I'm going to mark the middle and cut it with the grinder. In this case, the middle is at 40 centimeters. To make this tool, it should be at least 30 centimeters long. I already have both UPN profiles cut to 40 centimeters each. Now we need to make 4 marks. The first at 8.5 centimeters, the second at 10 centimeters, the third at 12.5 centimeters, and the last one at 15 centimeters. You need to mark this all the way around the profile. Now you need to connect the 2 center lines with the side one, forming 2 kinds of triangles, just like I'm doing. You need to cut out these 2 triangles on both sides. Once it's cut, since you need to bend it, but the profile is very thick, you have to make some cuts on top with the grinder to weaken the material a bit and make it easier to bend. You shouldn't go too far with the cut, because if you do, you'll cut it all the way through.
Yes.
This is how both profiles turned out, now welded and polished. The first mark I made was at 1 centimeter, the second at 9 centimeters, and the third at 16 centimeters. At the 9 centimeter mark, you need to make another mark at 2 centimeters. Now you have to connect the 1 centimeter mark with the 2 centimeter mark using a straight line. And finally, I'm going to use something round to round it off a little at the end. It should look something like this. You need to do this with both UPN channel sections. Once you've cut both, it should look something like this. As you can see, I polished both profiles well so that the welds aren't noticeable. And I also polished the edges to remove any sharpness they might have. And to make it look a little nicer, aesthetically. Now, what I'm going to do next only needs to be done to one of the 2 profiles. At the bottom, we mark 1 centimeter. We make a mark at 15 centimeters. We need to connect this so that we have a line to cut along later. On the other side, we do the same. First, 1 centimeter. This is because it's the width of the profile. Then make a mark at 15 centimeters. connect it with a line, and cut. Once it's cut, this is how it looks. Now, on the bottom part, you need to make something like a hinge. I'm going to use two 5-centimeter machined hinges. In this part, I'm going to use some scraps of flat bar or plate to give the hinge more strength with the press. This is how the press is turning out. I welded it and reinforced the hinge well. For the vise, I'm going to use a 5 Flecha 8 threaded rod. This is how the press turned out, finished and painted. I really like the result. The only thing I'm going to change in the future is the threaded rod. Now I'm going to test how it works. As you can see, it tightens very well. To use it for what I wanted, which is to hold the metal bars to cut with the grinder, it's very comfortable. Now I'm going to try with something bigger. As you can see, the clamp has an incredible opening. It's used to clamp wide pipes. It clamps very tightly. Even though I have a threaded rod, it still works. And if you like the video, don't forget to follow me. It would help me a lot.